Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare.
Nice to see you, doctor.
Namaste.
Rama Jaya Raja Ram, Rama Rama Jaya Sita Ram. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Om Bhurbhuvah Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Namo Shri Namo Namo Shri Narayana. Namo Namo Shri Namo Namo Shri Narayana. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Shrivasaya Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Anjaneyaya Namaha.
Ambe Narayana, Devi Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana, Bhakti Narayana.
Om Dhanalakshmyai Namaha. Om Dhanyalakshmyai Namaha. Om Santanalakshmyai Namaha. Om Saubhagyalakshmyai Namaha. Om Gajalakshmyai Namaha. Om Varalakshmyai Namaha. Om Veeralakshmyai Namaha. Om Dhairyalakshmyai Namaha. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama Jaya Raja Ram, Rama Rama Jaya Sita Ram. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Om Bhurbhuvah Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Namo Narayana. Om Venkatesaya Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Namo Shri Namo Namo Shri Narayana. Namo Namo Shri Namo Namo Shri Narayana. ॐ कृष्णाय नमः। ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः। ॐ श्रीनिवासाय नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वामय विनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय श्रीमहाविष्णवे नमः। ॐ आञ्जनेयाय नमः।
अम्बे नारायण देवी नारायण लक्ष्मी नारायण भद्री नारायण।
ॐ धनलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ धान्यलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ सन्तानलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ सौभाग्यलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ गजलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ वरलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ वीरलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ धैर्यलक्ष्म्यै नमः। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। राम राम जय राजा राम राम जय सीता राम।
जय श्री राम जय श्री राम जय श्री राम जय श्री राम।
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ वेङ्कटेशाय नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमो नमो श्री नारायण। नमो नमो श्री नारायण।
ॐ कृष्णाय नमः। ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः। ॐ श्रीनिवासाय नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वामय विनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय श्रीमहाविष्णवे नमः। ॐ आञ्जनेयाय नमः।
अम्बे नारायण देवी नारायण लक्ष्मी नारायण भद्री नारायण।
ॐ धनलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ धान्यलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ सन्तानलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ सौभाग्यलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ गजलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ वरलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ वीरलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ धैर्यलक्ष्म्यै नमः। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे। राम राम जय राजा राम राम जय सीता राम।
जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम।
ॐ भूर्भुवः सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्।
ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ वेङ्कटेशाय नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो नमो श्री नारायण। नमो नमो श्री नारायण।
ॐ कृष्णाय नमः। ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः। ॐ श्रीनिवासाय नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वामय विनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय श्रीमहाविष्णवे नमः। ॐ आञ्जनेयाय नमः।
नारायण देवी नारायण, लक्ष्मी नारायण भक्ति नारायण।
ॐ धनलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ धान्यलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ सन्तानलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ सौभाग्यलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ गजलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ वरलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ वीरलक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ धैर्यलक्ष्म्यै नमः। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे। राम राम जय राजा राम राम जय सीता राम।
जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम।
ॐ भूर्भुवः सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ नमो ॐ वेङ्कटेशाय नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो नमो श्री नमो।
Welcome you all for today's webinar. Good morning to everyone. Good evening. Good night. Various parts of the world, people are joining. We have more than 120 people registered for this free webinar. We are delighted to introduce our beloved Pandit ji, Pandit Neil Sahil Parameswar. We are blessed to have him here. And even though he is a US citizen, right now he is in India, exploring, meeting with the various gurus, teachers, Vedic scholars, and temples, and exploring with the various textbooks, ancient textbooks, bringing the wisdom. He has updated recently the course outlines of the program as we are aligning to you, not making you as a Pandits or scholars or gurus. It's not our intention. As an Ayurveda is the healing science, a health science, how Ayurveda has taught, as you know that Vedas are four in nature: Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda. Atharvana Veda, the Ayurveda is one of the subdivisions of Atharvana Veda. Even though the scriptures also explains some of the medicinal usage of hymns and also the medicinal qualities mentioned in the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, very rudimentary way. But in Atharvana Veda, you can find a lot of information, abundant information. That way, we are closely connected to the Ayurveda is connected to the Atharvana Veda. Along with that, we have other sciences are there, such as Tapachya Veda, Gandharva Veda, Dhanur Veda, and various systems of knowledge is there. But unfortunately, all the Ayurvedic schools, and medical schools, Ayurvedic medical schools, this knowledge has lost it and not explained very clearly, because the medical system, as we are apart with this anatomy, physiology and everything, microscopes and everything, pathological investigations and lab investigations and everything come across, then mantra, meditation, relaxation techniques, everything is apart, taken away. And maybe they may tell the one sentence of the word or one session of the things. Like a medical school, they don't teach the nutrition part for the medical doctors. They have only one lecture on the nutrition. But majority portion of the things are the pharmaceuticals and everything. Here, similar way, the Vedic science, the mantra therapy or mantra chikitsa, which has lost, and that is the reason today's title is The Missing Knowledge of Ayurveda. And as I feel that I am the lineage of Bharadwaja, my ancestral families are from the Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja is the knowledge gained from Lord Indra and Daksha Prajapati and all the different scholars. So with due knowledge and everything, we have to bring that knowledge back. And a lot of people think that, Dr. Shekhar, we are Westerners. We don't know how to speak, our language is different. Like same thing, like a Om. Om, anybody in the world can say the Om. Maybe the Om, 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 like that several ways they can say. But whatever it is saying, you are saying, it has a subtle impact on your nervous system, endocrinal system, and neuromuscular system. In every level, it can have an effect on your body. Sound having effect. Like think about that, a baby is crying, put a baby Mozart, he will quiet. He will become quiet. Why? The sound having a very powerful healing technology, Vedic technology, which is a vibration technology. With vibration, it can work. The sound therapy, music therapy, art therapy, like by seeing the good things, listening to the good things, you can heal your body. Either you can say the biofeedback mechanism, or any way you are saying that word, whatever the language you are using. But here we try to help you to bring this Vedic knowledge from the source, and reciting this chantings and everything along with that, and bringing the importance and healing qualities, how we can enliven the physiological changes and everything. We can do it and feel it. And after that, we have so much of information are available. Like a lot of knowledge is lost. Like a lot of people think about the Panchakarma is there, and herbs are there, and diet is there. Beyond that, something is there. Dinacharya, Ritucharya, we talk about those things. Meditation is not lost, completely lost. And not many people are practicing. And we are very fortunate to have Dr. Bertrand Martin is here. He's MD psychiatrist from Switzerland. And he has invented a wonderful way of a simplified way of doing of meditation technique. So everybody is bringing the wonderful knowledge to us. So here we will be focusing on today the missing knowledge of Ayurveda, which is a mantra chikitsa. This is not an entire class. This is a 1 hour session. We are going to do it, introductory session. And after that, who are interested, seriously interested, not like or if you have any questions, please contact us. If you are not seriously interested in anything, don't send any emails to us. Just don't waste our time and your time. And at the same time, if you are interested to join this program, if you are enthusiastic to learn this program, every Sunday we do 1 3-hour session, and that between 2 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. And if you have a late night time zone differences are there, we will be happy to send you that recording to you if you miss the sessions and something like that. Every Sunday is a commitment of 1 Sunday, and in between you will have some assignment, something is a recitation, practicing, those type of things can be done in a successful way at your home, and listening to this video recording, Zoom recording, send it to your email address. Only registered people only get these things, and only registered people only get certification also. That's called mantra chikitsa or mantra therapy level 1, basic level, intermediate level, advanced level. All the information is posted on our website. And if you go, and I put a link in the chat box, if you have any questions, please mute yourself and you can put the questions on the chat box. We'll be happy to answer these questions, because we don't want to have background noises and everything is there. And we will allow Pandit ji to give the information about the importance of mantra chikitsa in the healing. Thank you, Pandit ji. Please join with us. Unmute.
Namaste. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Before we start with the lecture, with the talk, I'll invoke my Guru and the Devas to bless us. I'll do a short prayer. You want to share the screen?
Yes. You want?
Doctor?
Okay. Let me share the screen. Okay, where are you? Okay. Sacraments.
So one of the wonderful things in the which the saints have passed down to us, the wonderful knowledge and realization that they possessed, is that God, we don't pray to a God who is distant or separate from us. This is the realization of the great saints throughout all the traditions.
Can you see? Can you see?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Doctor. This is the realization of the saints throughout all the traditions, is that we're not praying to something separate from us or something distant from us, but rather something that is essentially us, and we are that. So in the Vedas, they don't, the word, it's not so much we use the word prayer, but we use the word avahana, which means invocation. So these prayers which we do, and this is applicable to healing as well, which we'll talk about. So these prayers which I'll recite now are not prayers to an entity different from myself or yourself, but they're prayers to the inner self of all of us and each of us together, and to the universe. So yeah, we'll start with a few prayers here. Nishuseeda ganapate ganeshuttvama hurvipradamam kavinam narite tvatkriyate kinchanare mahamarkam maghavan chitramarcha. That is a prayer for Ganapati, an invocation of Ganapati. Yeah, you can go to the next slide, Doctor. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Bhirvajini Vati Dhinama Vitravato. Om Maha Saraswati Namaha. Om Aim. That was for Saraswati, who is known as Vag Devi, the goddess who controls the speech organ, which is obviously important for mantra. Om Nigrishvaira Samayutayehi Kalairharitama Pannaihi Indrayahi Sahasrayuk Agner Vibhrashti Vasanaha Vayushvedasi Gadrugaha Sammatsaro Vishuvarnaihi Nityastenu Charastava Subramanyogum Subramanyogum Subramanyom. Om Sam Sharavana Bhavaya Namaha. And we invoke Muruga, who is personally my Ishta Devata. And then finally Dhanvantri, who is the Lord of healing and the patron god of Deva of Ayurveda. Om Amritod Bhavaya Vidmahe Amrita Devaya Dhimahe Tanno Dhanvantari Prajotayat. Om Dhan Dhanvantaraye Namaha. Om Dham Dhanvantaraye Namaha. Om Dhan Dhanvantaraye Namaha. Thank you, Doctor. So we invoke these devas, which sometimes it's translated to gods, which is not a very good translation, because there's only one divine that we talk about, even in the Vedas. There's only one divine. All spiritual traditions, most spiritual traditions talk about one divine, whether it's the Vedic system, the Judeo-Christian tradition, Islamic tradition, the native tradition of the Americas, of the indigenous people of the Americas, all over the world. They talk about one divine entity, oneness, that we are all one with the divine. So these devas who we invoke, like I use the word avahanam, which we use in the Vedas, which means invocation. We're invoking a piece, an energy of our inner selves, of our divine self. We're invoking an energy of our divine selves because each one of us within is full. It says in the Vedas, Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. It means that each one of us within is full. And as we invoke pieces of that fullness is not lost within us. And that which we invoke also is full, even though it's only a piece of the fullness within us, but that too in and of itself is full. So one of the great saints, Kabir, put it this way, saying, everybody understands that a drop of water merges back into the ocean when it goes back into the ocean. But very few people understand that the drop itself is the entire ocean. So this is the idea of invocation. It's that we're invoking an aspect of our own divine self. And we have images and mantras and pictures and yantras and all these tools to invoke this divinity. How is this applicable to healing? Because even when we're healing, we are invoking a power within ourselves. It's not just an external process which is happening. We're actually invoking a power from within. Each one of us has a power to heal within us, to heal ourselves and to heal others. Each one of us contains that power. The idea of using mantra, which we'll talk about today, as a tool for healing, is that we are accessing the healing power within ourselves to heal both ourselves and those around us and others. So this is an important thing to remember, that the healing power comes from within. So mantra, as Dr. Shekhar mentioned, mantra is a tool to heal the body and the mind. Among other things, mantra can be used as a tool to heal the body, mind, spirit, soul. Mantra in Sanskrit, man means mind and tra means tool. So literally it means a tool which is used via the mental faculty. So mantra is a tool which is used through sound. Really what it is a vibration. We're creating a vibration, a divine, a holy vibration that aligns our best inner self with the universe and allows us to access that divine healing power within ourselves to heal ourselves and other around us. The interesting thing about mantra is there are many sounds which we use as mantras. There's not just, Dr. Shekhar mentioned Om. Om is a very popular one. It works very subtly. The sound itself, mantra sound, works very subtly through the subtle energies of the body, through the vibration of the universe to heal. So even the mantra Om, for example, has 3 syllables. A, U, Ma. A, U, Ma. These 3 syllables have different qualities to them. Just like herbs in Ayurveda have different qualities, or foods in Ayurveda, we have different qualities for foods in Ayurveda, right? Heating, cooling, rasa, vipaka, virya, all that stuff we have in Ayurveda. We have the same way, we have different qualities for mantras in the Vedic system and in the mantra yoga. So for example, with the mantra Om, depending on the way you chant it, it can be used differently in different circumstances for healing. So if we put an emphasis more on A and U, if we chant it this way, where each of the syllables is about even in time, and we have more emphasis on the and the U sound of the Om. This actually can be useful for promoting stillness. So this can help with things like anxiety, hypertension, high blood pressure, accelerated heart rate. This can be used to calm the system if you put more emphasis on the and U. The mantra the Bijakshara mantra See, in Sanskrit, each syllable in and of itself is a mantra. It's not just we have the long mantras that I chanted at the beginning, the long Veda mantras. Those are also mantras, but the speciality of those ancient languages, with Sanskrit included, is that each syllable is a mantra by itself. Each syllable is a mantra and has a quality to it and can be used for specific purposes. So the syllable in Sanskrit, is related to the Adhipati Marma in the body, also to the Sushumna Nadi. So that way, each one of the syllable, each one of the bija aksharas, bija means seed, akshara means syllable. Each one of these syllables in Sanskrit is connected to a specific aspect of healing in the body, both physically and mentally and spiritually. It's connected to all three. So for example, is connected to stillness. It helps to activate the Sushumna Nadi. It helps to bring balance to the Adhipati Marma, and it helps to bring general stillness to the body. This is also true of U. U is similar in quality. It has a little bit more of a heating quality, a little bit more of a masculine quality. Does, but and promote this aspect of stillness. If we put more emphasis on Om in the sound, Om, if we elongate the sound, the ma sound of the Om, that actually can be used for healing pain, as pain relief, like how we take aspirin or Tylenol, right? Can be used for pain relief. If you ever go to an ICU or to a hospital and someone's in severe pain for some treatment or for some disease that they have, you'll often see them tossing and turning, and watch the sound that comes from their mouth. It's their own self, their own inner self, understanding that that sound can bring about a subtle level of relief and healing for them. You'll see them toss and turn in the bed like that. I've seen my grandmother, when she had cancer, do that. So in this way, the sounds, the vibrations, the sounds, the mantras have different qualities. They can be heating, they can be cooling, they can be grounding, they can be activating. They can bring about stillness, they can bring about activity. They can be sharp, they can be subtle. There's different qualities to each one of these Bijakshara mantras. And this is what we'll be going into extreme depth at the beginner level of the mantra course, Mantra Chikitsa course, which we're offering next year. The beginner level will be talking a lot about this mantra yoga technique, which is using these syllables, these bijaksharas, to heal both the gross and subtle body, the sthula sharira and the sukshma sharira. In the Vedic system, we have 3 bodies: Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira. Stula Sharira means the gross body, what you see here. Sukshma Sharira is the subtle body. It's made up of thoughts, emotions, feelings, that aspect. And then finally, the Karana Sharira is made up of it's the causal body, it's the bliss body. It's our true nature. If you ever see a child, you can maybe understand a small child. I have a 1-year-old nephew here in India one-year-old niece here in India who have come to visit. You can clearly see her Karana Sharira. She's always blissful. She's always happy. So mantra is a technique that works on all these levels: the gross level, the subtle level, and the bliss level. Mantra is referenced as a healing technique in the Vedas. It's been mentioned in Vedic astrology. For astrological remedies, they mention certain mantras to be used depending on, for example, if Jupiter is not in a good place in your birth chart, they'll recommend certain mantras for Jupiter that you can recite over time to help appease Jupiter, or to help alleviate the difficulty that's brought about by that debilitated planet. It's used, as Dr. Shekhar mentioned at the top, and as we'll talk about more too, it's used in Ayurveda as a healing technique for healing, and it's used also in yoga. Mantra is a very important technique used in yoga and the yoga practice, in asana, in pranayama, in dharana, in pratyahara and dhyana. It's used in all the yogic techniques as a addition to the practice. And then mantra works through each of the 5 elements. So this is an important point I wanted to bring up. We have, I'm sure many of you have heard, it's been popularized in the West too, about these chakras in the body. It's a kind of a misunderstood concept, the way it's presented nowadays. But we have these 7 main chakras in the body that they talk about. Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agya, and Sahasrara. They talk about the 7 chakras. Depending which text you read, they may be named differently. But essentially, there's 7 energy wells within the body that if you access them, they can, if you connect with them, they can provide a certain level of healing and a certain level of energetic connection. If you access the Muladhara, for example, at the base of the spine, it brings about groundedness. It's connected to the earth element. It brings about groundedness. It brings about strength. It brings about a good foundation for upliftment and for healing. Muladhara is where everything starts. So mantra works through each of the 5 elements, working through the first five chakras. So you can think of when you chant a mantra, whether it's Om or whether it's a longer mantra like I chanted at the beginning, the way it works for healing is as you make the sound is not just coming from the voice box in this case. The sound is coming from a deep inner place, the vibration rather, not just the sound. The vibration is coming from a deep, deep inner place within. It's coming from the subtle body, which we talked about. So when you make the sound, it's like the sound grows within you as you practice the sound, as you become in tune with that sound, and as you use it for healing yourself and for others, the sound grows within you. So it starts as a seed in the Muladhara, in the earth element of the body. It starts as a seed. Then in the Swadhisthana, it gets watered. It's touched by the water element. It moves up to the Swadhisthana and it becomes a sprout, or it germinates a little bit. Then it moves up to the Manipura Chakra, which is the fire in the body. And it's like the sun, that's where the sun touches it. And that's when it breaks ground. And that's when it starts to become a seedling. And you can start to see it. You can start to see the energy effects of it. Then it moves up to the Anahata Chakra, which is in the heart center. There it flowers. There it's totally flowering. If you can access the mantra in this spot through practice, you can bring about great, great, great healing for those around you. And then that's the air element, Vayu, air element. And then finally in the Vishuddha Chakra, which is ether, Akasha, pure space, it fully fruits. It provides all the fruits. If you can access it in the Vishuddha, then you'll just be dripping with healing energy. Like they talk about, if you read the Bible, for example, Christ, there are stories of how people would just touch Christ's robe, not even his body, but just his dress, his robe, and would be healed by that. He was just dripping with healing energy because he had accessed the power of the vibration of the mantra in the Vishuddha. So this is what we'll be teaching in the mantra courses, is how to practice the mantra in a way which can bring about great healing for yourself and for others. Mantra Purusha is a technique, it's actually a rare technique nowadays. Many people don't practice this. Even people who practice mantra are not aware of this system of healing. But mantra, it's called mantra yoga or mantra Purusha, is the system where each one of the sounds in Sanskrit is connected to the different areas of the body. So we talked about the Adipati Marma. Each one of the sounds is connected, im, is connected to the different points in the body. Shoulder, the different joints, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hands, feet, legs, chest, mouth, cheeks, eyes. Each different sound is connected to each different point in the body, as well as to the different nadis in the body. as well as to the different processes of the body. So like breathing, there are mantras that are connected specifically to the breathing faculty. When you practice those mantras, especially while doing a practice of pranayama, if you practice those mantras, you can access great healing through just observation of the breath. You can observe your own breath and understand where there are imbalances in your own system. You can observe another's breath and you can understand where there are imbalances in their system. So mantra can help you access that level of observation, of diagnosis in others, and also in healing. And with the correct understanding of the mantras and with the correct meditative practice, with having practiced the seed sounds, you can heal others through that. You can heal yourself through that. It doesn't require any touch. It doesn't require any physical contact even. It doesn't even necessarily require for that person to be in the same physical space as you. Sometimes you can do it heal even distantly with mantra. I've seen one of my teachers heal people distantly via mantra. So it's a lost art. Not many people practice mantra in this way. A lot of people practice mantra for their own meditative purposes, but not many people practice mantra in this way, which is as a medicine, as a healing for people. It can actually physically heal people. So this is what we'll be talking about in the Mantra Chikitsa course that we start next year. The beginner course, like I said, there'll be a little bit of introduction on the Vedic tradition. There'll be some preliminary prerequisites, I would call them, which is yama and niyama. Those who have studied yoga may be aware of what yama and niyama is, but they're the foundation to any healing practice, any spiritual practice. Yama and niyama are very, very important. So we'll be spending a couple classes on that. Yama are restraints and niyama are observances. So they're sort of prerequisites to prior to practicing this mantra yoga technique. They're prerequisites to making sure the practice is effective. We're spending a little bit of time on that, and then we'll get into the actual mantra portion, which is the bijaksharas, the seed sounds, like I said. In Sanskrit, there are hundreds even of sounds that you can make on the conjunction. So there are hundreds of syllables, and each one of them, like I said, is a mantra with a very potent ability to heal people. So im, hrim, maybe people have heard of the bijakshara hrim. It's often associated with the divine feminine, the Devi, the goddess aspect. Hrim. There's also shrim, which is also associated with the feminine aspect. We'll have a whole class on the Shakti bijaksharas, which are the syllables that are connected. We connect them in the Vedic tradition to the feminine aspect, to the goddess. But there's a reason why we say it that way, which we'll get more into in the class. But they are very, very potent for healing. They have very profound effects, both as a meditative practice as well as a healing practice. So these Shakti bijaksharas are very, very powerful. And we'll get into a little bit longer mantras, bija mantras. Like at the beginning, I chanted Om Dham Dhanvantaraye Namaha. That's the bija mantra for Dhanvantari. The bijakshara for Dhanvantari is Dham. The bija mantra, which is that full mantra, Om Dham Dhanvantaraye Namaha, has a slightly more holistic effect, I guess you could say, on healing than just using Dham. Om Dham, that has a certain effect. That has a certain calming as well as activating effect. Dham, 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 Dham. That mantra helps to build immunity in the body and can help with the metabolic processes as well. But Om Dham Dhanvantaraye Namaha is a little bit more nuanced, and because there are more syllables there, Dhanvantaraye Namaha, it's invoking even more aspects of of the healing. So for example, dhan, van, va. Vam is connected to water. Vam is connected to purification. So invoking that vam syllable, vam, you're invoking the aspect of purification. So that can help to purify both the internal and external aspects of the being. And then we will also be, it's not just theory we'll be talking about in the course, it will be very practical. So what we're hoping to facilitate is an experience for people to understand how healing can work through the sound, through the vibration, not just theoretical, like this akshara is heating, this one is cooling, not just, I mean, that you can probably read from a book. I don't need to teach you that. That's probably available online or in a book somewhere. But an actual practical experience of how the effect of that mantra is and how it can be used in a healing context. So this is where the practice which we do will be important. And the practices that I'll ask you to partake in the class will be important. Would be important for you to partake in, to access that level of healing. So you can really use it as a tool. For those of you who are into Ayurveda, you can use it as a tool for your patients who come to you. For those of you who are into yoga teachers can use it as a tool for the asana practice or for the pranayama practice or for the meditation practice that people do when they come to you for yoga. It's mantra is an additive practice to every single practice. It's not, there's no fear of it being detrimental or of it being harmful. At worst, maybe there's no effect if you practice it incorrectly. But if you practice it correctly with the proper intent and with the proper understanding, it can be a very powerful additive practice to any of the existing healing practices. And also on its own, it can be a very powerful healing practice, yoga practice, meditation practice. And then we also have an intermediate and advanced course being offered after the beginner course. In those, we'll get more into more advanced mantras, like at the beginning, the Veda mantras that I chanted. Those have specific intonation. Those have, there's 6 elements of Vedic chanting that are mentioned in the Taittiriya Upanishad. So we'll get into what are those correct elements. There's a timing to it. There's a rhythm to it. There's an intonation to it. There's a correct pronunciation of syllables, correct emphasis on the syllables. That is a more advanced practice, but that practice is also more powerful in terms of its healing capability. So as you get more advanced into the mantra practice, as you learn more, as you move from the bijaksharas, the syllables, to the bija mantras, a little bit longer, to the mula mantras, mula means root, which are a little bit longer, to the shlokas and Vedic suktams and hymns and all that are in the Vedas, it's even more powerful healing which you can use, and even more powerful tools for you to advance your healing practice. So I think I spoke quite a bit there. Does anybody have questions? We have a little bit of time. Questions or comments? Or if there's anything I spoke incorrectly, please do feel free to correct me also.
I have a question. So a couple of questions. So when you chant and your voice is at a certain level, like Om, but if you chant higher, like an octave higher, and is that an influence? That's my first question.
It does have an influence. So it's a very good question. In Veda chanting, especially Veda mantras, Vedic suktams, like at the beginning, what I chanted, or I can give you an example. Om Gananantva Ganapati Gum Havamahe. That's kind of, for me, a middle pitch. Om Gananantva Ganapati Gum Havamahe. That would be a little bit higher pitch, and I could go lower also. But yes, the pitch does have a difference. Depending on what the mantra is, the effect can be different. Generally, the higher pitches have a little bit more of a subtle vibration, and the lower pitches have a much grosser vibration. So the lower pitches would work more on the physical body. The higher pitches would work more on the mental body. If you ever hear these Tibetan, that's a general rule, there are exceptions, but if you ever hear these Tibetan monks who chant the Om very, very low, like they go in a very, they actually can chant it at multiple pitches at the same time. They practice this thing with their throat, which they're able to manipulate, how to chant multiple pitches at once, but they go very, very low, and then they go back up high. So they're moving from the physical gross body up to the subtler levels of the body, mind, and then eventually soul. They say in the Vedas that the finer the vibration is, the more finer the vibration is, the more subtle it accesses. So the finer vibrations access the more subtle realms. So they get up to the mind, to the emotions, to the subconscious feelings, to the karmic level, even to the karmic level. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Good question. What other questions do people have?
Any other questions you can put together? If you are not directly asking the questions, then you can put in the chat box. We'll be happy to address those questions.
One other thing I'll say while I'm here in India also is that to just explain the power of mantra. While I'm here in India, I've been visiting many temples this time. I visited already, been here less than 2 months. I've probably visited already 15, 20 different temples here. And one of the things I'll say is all these temples are consecrated spaces. What do we mean by consecration? In Sanskrit, we call it prana pratishta. Prana literally means subtle, in this context means subtle energy. So what it means to be a consecrated space is that the vibration of that space, the energy of that space, that physical space has been risen through certain techniques which are prescribed. And we'll be talking about that too in the mantra course, more in the intermediate level, but we'll be talking about the techniques of puja and homam and how they can heal even more powerfully than in addition to the mantra. The techniques of offering which are used, which can be very, very, very powerful. I mean, I've seen how they can heal. I've personally seen one of my teachers, a couple of my teachers, how they've been able to heal dozens of people at once with these techniques of puja and homam, and in addition to the chanting of the mantra. So these consecrated spaces, the power of mantra is, most of these spaces were consecrated with the central sort of foundation of the consecration being the mantra, being the sound. The Patanjali, who some of you who have studied yoga may know, Patanjali wrote the Yoga Sutras. That's what maybe today he's most famous for in the West, but he consecrated temples here in India in his time. One of the famous ones is called Chidambaram. It's a temple to Lord Shiva. And I just visited there. It must have been consecrated thousands of years ago. The energy today is still almost at the level that it was at the time of consecration, if you can believe that. So the power of the sound, the vibration, the mantra, is that you can raise the vibration of a space, of a person, and it can last for, that healing effect can last for ages and ages and ages. It's very, very powerful. Just today, I met someone whose son is suffering from a muscular dystrophy, and they were asking me about how mantra can be used to heal or to at least help remediate some of the symptoms. So I'll work with that person to sort of see if there's anything we can do in this way to help them. But the power of the mantra is very powerful. It can raise the energy of physical spaces, of people, of objects in a way that can last for aeons. I mean, if you keep it that way. That's how we reconsecrate temples as well, is through the power of sound. So there's one question, will we cover mantra purusha at some point? If so, in which of the courses. Yes, in the updated curriculum, we have at least one lecture on Mantra Purusha. Mantra Purusha will be an ongoing theme in the beginner level course. I'll dedicate one lecture, one class specifically to Mantra Purusha, but every time we talk about the mantras, every time we talk about the Bijaksharas and the Bija mantras, we will be connecting it back to the Mantra Purusha, which is how does the mantra connect back to the physical body, to the marmas, to the nadis, to the different regions of the body, and then on the mental level as well, to the different sort of mental disposition. Yeah, Eileen just read it. The consecration has been going on in these places over time, so it's been healing and vibrations have been sustained. Yes, that is also true. The vibrations have been sustained, and there are processes that each of these places do for reconsecration. Some temples do it every 12 years. There's a process which we do, a prana pratishtha process which we do to reconsecrate the space. But the original consecration is really the sort of foundation of it all. I mean, if that is done correctly and appropriately and powerfully enough, even a place like Chidambaram that was consecrated thousands of years ago today will still stand as a very, very powerful energy spot. And then there are places, I'm sure some of you have heard of energy wells or vortexes too. There's some of them that are in the southwest of the US, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico. Natural energy centers that exist in nature that by the formation of the whether it's the rock structure there, they sort of have energy by itself. But those two are connected to the vibration, to the sound, and you can really access the energy of those places too through the practice of mantra. We have one question here: only chanting different mantras, or it will help you listening only? Excellent knowledge. Yeah, so that is true. That's a good point. One of the things I'll say too about mantra is that in the Vedas, we call mantra as, the Vedas themselves are called as Shruti. Shruti literally means that, Shrauta is the organ of hearing. So Shruti means literally that which is heard through the organ of hearing. So just listening to the mantras is also very, very powerful. Even if you don't chant them, even if you listen to them, it's very, very powerful. That itself can bring about healing. But if you chant them as well, then you can also change your inner vibration and heal yourself on an even greater level, even greater scale. Listening is also very helpful. Chanting is even more powerful.
And by the way, the Panditji also well versed with the some of the scriptures and knowledge about the Bible and Quran.
Yes.
And which he is connecting to that. This knowledge is not this is the Vedic knowledge, is not a Hindu knowledge.
Yes.
So here we are not differentiating the religion and the spirituality. We are trying to bring the spirituality. We have all the connectivity with this Bible, Quran, and what they have. They have also Quran, also some songs like that, and these recitations are there. In the Bible also, there are some recitations are there. People, when they're reciting this type of things, people will start to feel healing qualities are there. The healing powers of the Jesus and Muhammad and all the people, they are also healers, basically. And once upon a time, they were healing the people, and that way people are suffering. People are suffering with various problems and everything. They bring them with cancers and miscarriages and some relationship problems are there, and psychological problems are there, mental disorders are there. Those conditions also, people, they with their own faith systems, they go into the their temples, churches, and mosques, and where they can meet with this the head of the this mosque or whoever there, and they can be in touch with them. Now in privilege is that in India also, anybody who is there, recently one of my friend who is an Ayurvedic doctor, and his children also doctors and naturopathy doctors. Then he was telling that, Shekhar, we are sending all the prayers to the temples and everything, pujas we are performing for them, and horoscopes we are checking that way, a mangalic effect is there, and anything there where we can nullify the effect of the negativity of this planetary influences on the physiology. Because as we know that microcosmic to the macrocosmic, we are all connected to the macrocosmic level, and from the solar things like that, lunar eclipses and everything influence on our physiology more and more. So it's not necessary that bounding to that we are healing you through only Hinduism or Hindu culture, but by the depiction of the gods and goddesses are there. That doesn't mean that you are looking for the, okay, why elephant tusk Ganesha is there, we have to pray for him or not, and Muruga is there, the thing, arrow is there, and Kali is there with the arrow, and Trishula is there. These things I have to, I don't believe this type of things. You don't need to think about that. Even if you can see the Muruga in a form of Jesus, you can see Allah or something like that. It's not necessary that it is a depiction of the photograph which is created like that, and we do not know exactly how the God looks. Nobody cannot put a drawing of the photo of the God, how the God looks, whether God does not have a shape. God is within you. God is within you, and what we are doing, we are invoking the God within you. We are reciting the God within you, and every person who devotedly doing like that, that is the reason when I am doing treatment therapies and everything, where we are doing panchakarma therapies and all the various therapies, we tell the people that this is the thing, you can do it, simple recitation like while we are performing the therapy. So that way you are not only as a practitioner, you can do it, as a doctor, you can tell these people, and at the same time, as a lay person, general public like that, for your own healing, when you are meditating, when you are relaxation, and also stress management. A lot of times when we are stressed out, we don't breathe. When we are stressed out, we don't eat. When we are stressed out, we are getting angry. We are frustrated. So many things are happening. This all the stress related management also can be done. So there are side benefits are there. A lot of side benefits are there. No side effects. Without having side effects, we have side benefits are there. We look into the always side benefits of that healing, like that, even the respiratory conditions, even the certain skin diseases, obstinate skin diseases. Now I am watching one of the patient who is multiple sclerosis. Clear diagnosis of the multiple sclerosis. We are going to work on that patient also. She believes on this mantra chikitsa and everything. We are going to work on the brain functionality and everything, how the lesions can change there. But that doesn't mean that only the one modality is going to solve the problem. Mantra will not solve the problem. Mantra is one of the tool that as Pandit ji told, that is a tool. So it is Shalya Tantra. Shalya Tantra, a tool. Shalya means surgical tools, and Shalakya Tantra is an Shalakya is an ear, nose, throat disorders where they use the tools. So the mantra chikitsa is also one way of tools, and tra is a word tool. We are using the mind tools. These are the mind tools. These toolbox has to be needed there. There, like if you go and look into the toolbox is there. There's a Phillips head is there, and flat head is there. So many pin head is there, which are the toolbox having all the things are there. You are using for the according to need of the various conditions like that. It's not necessary that, oh, I'm an expert in Ayurveda, I can give the medicine only. I can give only panchakarma only. I'm a doctor, I can give a drugs only. I can heal the people only with surgery. It's not like that. It is a way of approaching the various conditions according to need of the things, and it can help them to improve these things. Yesterday, one girl, she came as an 11 years girl, and mom complaining that she doesn't think, and if we talk something, she has to wait some time and slowly she answers. And she doesn't know what is Vata Pitta Kapha. Some responds very quickly and some responds very aggressively. Some people, they think and process it and respond to that. And when we look into that, her quality is there, kapha quality is there. Kapha quality is there, abundance of all the kapha qualities are there. When the kapha is slow and thoughtful, not chatterboxes like that. And I was talking to her in the consultation, she's quietly listening everything. And then finally I asked that, how was that? It felt so good. So that is the thing. They don't hurt themselves. They don't hurt others also. That is the way mentality of the kapha people. Pitta people like a knife. They're bullet. They try to sharpen it and cut it, everything. That's the way of mentality. Vatas, they drive you crazy. They themselves, they are crazy. They make them others also crazy because they talk about everything. They leave the topic. They can go everywhere, every direction. That when they came for consultation, they talk about grandmother, grandfather, who is, one lady came and she was talking about that. I thought that, okay, she's thinking about her father and mother. Her father and mother died long time back. She was talking about them in the consultation. Why I need to know? Who? How can I heal them? Dead people. So finally I told her, oh my God, what are you talking about that? You are talking about your mom. Okay, I would like to see your mom. No, Dr. Shekhar, they're already past 10 years back. Really? Then why you are talking half an hour about them? This is the biggest problem. Either we are living in the past or we are living in the future. We never live in the present. Try to live in the present. That is exactly what we teach them, that live in the present. Dr. Shekhar, what is going to happen in the Omicron? It's going to collapse. The whole world is going to collapse. So COVID came, Delta came, then Omicron came. Next, another one will come. Like hurricanes. You can see the hurricanes, how many hurricanes are there. So this is the way it is coming. Is an evolutionary things are there. Be cautious and careful and be thankful that you are surviving. You are living there. You are happy there. And that is exactly what is the mantra chikitsa and all these things. These are the tools which you needed for you. Sometimes it will be non-invasive and Vedic vibration technology. And at the same time, it can also help you yourself when you are chanting yourself, Om Dhan Dhanvantare Namaha, Om Dhan Dhanvantare Namaha. So when you are reciting the type of things like that, you learn these things, you chant it, you feel it. It is not a rocket science. It's not a rocket science. We are trying to help you as much as possible to put you together. And then question may come that, Dr. Shekhar, do I need to commit for all the levels right now? No. You can commit for only one session. And then in the basic level, if you wanted to take only one session of each session, you can attend each one by one, but you are not qualified to get a certification because we have modules are there. And segments are there, webinars are there. If you miss the webinar, okay, this Sunday you have some commitment is there, family commitment is there. Yes, we are sending all the people, whoever, we will do the regular program. So when we do these programs and we record it, Zoom recording will send it to you. And that way you can download it to your computer. You can listen to these things, what is the recitation is happening. And even the previously we did this webinars, all 2 webinars, free webinars, we posted on our website also. The same thing we are going to do it. Some of the people, they are not able to join. Even though a lot of people, they registered for this webinar, they could not come because they may be having other commitments or something happened. But we are thankful to all of you, people who participated today and taking the time and coming and joining with us and bless us. And we are very, very lucky to have Panditji is all the way from India. He's in India, is right now almost 10:30 night time. And we were thinking about that to communicate that way India time as well as California time and Pennsylvania time and New York time and all the times convenient time. It's difficult for us. Russian people cannot join and other countries, even some of the people from the UAE. Professor Muhammad Ji is here. and he is from UAE. Some of the people are joining from the other parts of the world also. And definitely it is having Switzerland doctors are there, and India doctors are there. We are very, very thankful to all the people who are joining these things. And it is not like cut short mantra for that. Okay, I have multiple sclerosis. Give me one mantra. I am going to chant it. Give me a drug for that. It's not like that.
Yes.
Or give me something that I'm not able to sleep. Give me a one mantra. I'm constipated. Give me a mantra. It's not like that. The whole body, you don't want to separate these things. The whole body is connecting to that. Psychology, mind, neuroscience, neurophysics, and everything is connected to that. As we know that it is not like a holistic approach to heal the physiology. And in this journey, you will be learning. Can we become like a Panditji? No, it takes time, a dedication, dedication, and years of training is required. Then only you can get it. Charlene, having question.
Thank you so much, Neil. What you've shared so far is not only mind-boggling and fascinating, it's very inspiring as well. And it begs the question, just on a totally technical side, which has nothing to do with the depth of knowledge that you'll be getting into in the classes. Are each class, so the beginner, the intermediate, and advanced, are they all individually for right now priced? So
yes.
If you sign up for the advanced class, perfect. Okay, so that does not include the intermediate and beginner. We would need to sign up for all three or two or however many of that. You're understanding that correctly?
I can share you some of the link on the website, which is there.
I just wanted to I'm about to sign up, so I just wanted to make sure I was signing up correctly.
So I wanted to go to the website called and I'm going to share the link to you. And where is that thing? Sorry. Cancel and stop sharing. So if you go to the website, and I'm going to click on this here, probably better to go and click on this. Yeah, I shared the link here, and first initial link, Global Ayurveda Conferences website, and I am putting that way a link, and let's see. I can share the link to you, and I will go through the process of explaining to you. So here, if you look into this website, you're able to see the website. Panditji is there. Yeah. And this is the course overview. If you click on that, you can see that whole document, you can download it. And then is a form itself is there, individual form. Then individual, you are taking class, that is a $40 per session. If you are signing up for entire program, you are getting some discount. So here you put a discount price. Okay. If you sign up one thing here, then you don't need to go and sign up for this level. Make sense? So then if you are signing up for this intermediate level, you will be getting $120 discount. And then if you go into the third level, Mantra Chikitsa advanced level, where you can see that $240 of discount you are getting. So you are getting in a multiple classes. Along with that, you will be getting a certification also, basic level of certification, intermediate level of certification, and advanced level of certification, different certifications. So individually given to that individual person. Digital certification will be given, signed by the Panditji and director, myself, together we will give a certification for them. And during the process like that, you may have some various questions are there. It's not like a written on stone. All the syllabus and everything is written on stone, and it can be modifiable, and tentative program we have put together. And a lot of times some of the students may ask that this is the specific area, can you address this area? Yes, we will cover that area also. We'll make sure that you are able to cover that areas also. Sometimes we wanted to have knowledge sharing also is very, very important. Participants, how they are getting this knowledge and everything. On the basis of that, they can also share their knowledge. And a lot of times when we are teaching these courses like that, that, marma therapy and those things, lets you practice on your wife, on your son, on your daughter, on your dog or cat, something that, Dr. Shekhar, my dog, I did it and she's so quiet and relaxed there. So this type of things, it's not like one thing is going to change like that. Every person is going to utilize that way in a different ways like that. So it's a very interesting that one patient, it's funny that her door is locked, so she's not able to open it. She has a nasal drops, and she put a few drops of nasal drops in these things, and oil is there, herbal oil, and she is able to open the door. So nasal drops using for the door knob. So it's interesting that she uses it that way. That I cannot recommend the people that, hey, this oil can be used for the nasal drop, for the door opening. I cannot tell that, but I have recommended and prescribed for her to use for nasal drops for the congestions and these things. So how you are utilizing that knowledge and everything. So Usha having question. Usha Bhatt, you have a question. You raise the hand.
Yeah, hi, sorry. I didn't turn on the speaker. This is Usha. Thank you very much. I really am excited about this course. I would like to register for it.
Yeah.
Is there some way you can just send a link to the website, through the email that you had sent to me before?
Yes, it is there on the website also in these things, and also go to the website. If just now I shown to you Global Ayurveda Conferences, Vedic Sciences webinars, there is there, and just now I shared with you link and everything is there. A lot of times we even though we send the information that can you send me link again? Link is already there, so I have to send them again. Click. I put in the link also there. Click here to register like that. What we do? All the people who are registered for today's webinar, 95 people, 98 people registered right now, and for all of you, we'll send in a link to all of you, and you can register. And we'll try to do it a webinar from India. Pandit is there, and we're thinking about that. Either we can do it at that time or we may postpone it for a few days. But generally, we are trying to do it on Sunday. Every Sunday, we're doing. Some Sundays are skipping like that. Sundays are convenient for the people in the afternoon time. So Panditji also in the East Coast in Pennsylvania. He lives in Pennsylvania, so very close to our center. And we have a strong vision in future. Big vision is there. And Panditji is also looking for the ashram type of a training center, training Vedic science school. He wanted to establish it in that Vedic school where people can come in the COVID crisis and everything down the road. And once the construction and everything is done, where the people can come, can do apprenticeship with Panditji also. They can spend some time with Panditji and some doing. It's not only that chanting only. Mantras means chanting only. It is a homa, yajna, tapa, puja, and so many things are there. And the Ayurveda, Daiva Vyapashraya Chikitsa. This is called Daiva Vyapashraya Chikitsa. Daiva Vyapashraya Chikitsa, Sattva-Avajaya Chikitsa, psychology, psychiatry, psychology. And Dr. Martin is the expert in that. Sattva-Avajaya Chikitsa and Daiva Vyapashraya Chikitsa, Yukti Vyapashraya Chikitsa. Yukti Vyapashraya Chikitsa means all the medicines which we are giving, the Panchakarma therapies, massage therapies, and everything, whatever the things we are doing, some tools we are using, combination of this in cooking classes and everything we are doing, that is the Yukti Vyapashraya Chikitsa. Daiva Vyapashraya Chikitsa, which is last, that knowledge is last. Mani Mangala, Balyupahara, Homanima, Prayashchitta, Upavasa, fasting is clearly mentioned. It is not like now everybody says that, oh, intermittent fasting is newly invented by California guy. Oh, it is not newly invented by a California guy or somebody invented in the Florida or Switzerland. Oh, Swiss technique. This is called a Swiss technique, new technique. It's not a new technique. It is a Upavasa clearly mentioned. The language we are not able to understand when we are, knowledge is not there. Knowledge is captured in a treasure. We don't know how to open the treasure. When we don't know open the thing, we are using the word differently, like intermittent fasting. But then what happening? They are using the different language. One lady came, she eats at midnight, at 12 o'clock, 12 to 1 she eats. Next day she doesn't eat anything. And at 3 o'clock she goes to bed. Until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock she sleeps in the whole daytime. What is that? Fasting, that is also fasting. She is doing fasting. But there is no rhythm. There is no rhythm. Everything is a rhythm. Suddenly, our nose goes to the head of the head, top of the head. How do you feel? Our one eye is in the front, one eye suddenly goes in the back. We have two eyes are there, but unfortunately, one eye in the front. Why he has not? God has not put only one eye, big eye. He can put middle of the head. It's beautiful looking. Then easy, and you can put a mascara in only one time. You don't need to put a lot of mascara, two eyes putting and everything with it. Only one nostril is enough, because why he connected to the two eyes, two nose, two nostrils. And a lot of people think about that. Oh, two nostrils, make a hole, big hole, and go to the ENT specialist and go make a hole, big hole. That's it, good enough for the one nostril is enough. Because air is passing through that is easy. And now we can see a lot of people having DNS, deviated nasal septum, and polyps, and a lot of allergy problems. This can be resolved. We can change the evolution of the human being to anatomical structure, change it. You look into that, your grandmother, grandfather, everybody having two nostrils. Why? And everybody having two eyes, nobody having one eye. Teeth may be lost. Okay, that's the thing that comes and goes. Because teeth, when you are born, it's not there, and when you are dying, you may not have it. This is the thing happen. Hair can come and go when you are not having there, and later it comes and goes. But the thing is that evolutionary things are happening in our physiology. We have to accept it, we have to understand it, and how to implement it. And sometimes it may not be, sometimes it is not working. Some patients, they may not respond well. Then I have to see these different actions like that we have to see. There's the roadblocks are there. Sometimes when healing is happening, and I always tell that roadblocks. The road is blocked. We need to do detour. Sometimes it may take longer time. Some people, they don't have patience. When the people, they don't have patience, they collapse. They die. They take a decisions, fast decisions, very hasty decisions like that. Then they may collapse and die. And I have seen those type of people also. Some people, they don't want to change their diet, a lifestyle, and they go to the chemo and they have died. The end is death. Some people, doctors who got a cancers, they know the side effects of the chemotherapy and everything. They decided that at the age of 70s, they got a cancer. No, I lived happily, wonderfully. Now I am not going to go for the chemo. I am happy what I wanted to do it. There is no pain. I'm not worried about that. There is no suffering. I'm not worried about that. This is exactly what we need to look into that. How happy you are. That's the thing, is key for your good maintenance of good health. So as I mentioned to you, these three levels are there. We have some questions are there.
Yeah, I think there's one other question I saw, Doctor, which is from Pulkit.
Pulkit Bakshi.
Yeah, should we chant quietly or aloud? So that's a very good question. As you're learning the practice, as you're beginning the practice, chanting loud is beneficial. As you deepen the practice and as your vibration, your personal vibration becomes more in tune with the vibration of the mantra, then you don't need to practice aloud as much. But that's a much more advanced stage. When that happens, you're always chanting the mantra. I mean, when that happens, you snap your fingers and you've done 1008 repetitions of Ganapati mantra. But that's a very advanced stage. As you're beginning, it is very effective to chant loudly, as loud as is appropriate based on your conditions. But it's appropriate to chant loudly for yourself to hear the mantra, for others around you, if you have family or whatever to hear as well. It's nice, beneficial for them also. If your neighbors don't get upset, it's beneficial for them as well. It's beneficial for everybody. So, but it's effective to chant aloud initially as you're learning the practice.
And Veronica, that we would be sharing this information, putting this information on the website, and the same page as this page is specifically dedicated for the Panditji Vedic Sciences page. And in that we are putting, already we posted 2 webinars, past webinars we posted there, but the classes will not be posted there, but all the free webinars will be posted there. And this is also added to that. We may do one more webinar like that, or in between we do the webinars like that. We take it some sort of topic and everything. And if you have a specific ideas are there, if you wanted to address those areas, we will be happy to address those areas also before joining in this program. And even if it is already started the program, and if you miss the deadline and everything, if you miss the classes like that, but no worries. You can register for the entire classes, then we will be happy to send you, even though it's the past classes, past webinars, we'll send it to you. That way you will be able to catch up with that. That way you don't need to be worried about that, and you can connect with that. Only the thing is that you are missing of asking questions and answers directly on the class time. And that's the only thing. Other than that, it's not like a thing that in one class, should I ask one class, you are going to become expert in that field. It is not a science like that. It's not like a weekend course I take it class, and then you cannot expect such a way that complete knowledge like that. But it's in a depth as you are learning more and more, and then you will realize that I'm a student of Vedic science. As you don't know, you call yourself as a professor, and you know everything. And if you know, as you are learning more and more inside, in depth of knowledge, my God, I need to read more. I need to read more. I will tell you one thing, story, simple story. Jivaka, one of the student of a teacher, Jivaka is a disciple of the student, disciple. And he completed his 18 years of studies, entire studies with the teacher. Under the 18 years studied. It's not like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Even medical doctor goes for maximum 12 years of training, and he will start practicing. Ayurvedic doctor, same thing with BAMS, MD, Ayurveda, PhD, and everything, 12 years of studies. But this guy is into the 18 years of study. Then he asked that, I wanted to give a Guru Dakshana for you. Guru Dakshana means offering something to the Guru. Guru Dakshana. That means offering what is as a reverence, that we wanted to offer something to the teacher. Okay. Then he asked one thing that go and find the plant which does not have any healing qualities. Find the plant, it does not have any healing qualities. Go and find and bring it for me. That is the only thing I wanted. He was walking everywhere. Every plant he studied, it is telling that, hey, this is good for the skin. Hey, this is good for the brain. Hey, this is good for the polyps. This is good for the uterus. This is good for this one, hemorrhoids. Like that, every plant is talking to him. You know that plants also talks. When you see the basil, oh, basil is good for the lungs. When you see the lavender, oh, it's a mood lifting. Like that, you may know, you connect with some of the disease conditions or symptoms, and then with the plants. That way he was searching for everything. Finally, he said that he came back with a sorrow head and bent his head in front of him. Guruji, I could not give anything for you. I am very, very sorry that I cannot give anything for you. Then he said that you are past. If he has said that this plant does not have any qualities, if he brought it to the teacher, he is failed. He is failed, utterly failed. Because he didn't learn that thing. Now, in the medical schools and the examinations and everything, that out of 5 questions they give, answer 3 questions. So 2 questions you can skip it. Now, in the science of the Vedic science, nothing is skipping. There is no skipping questions. Multiple choices are not there. Direct one question. Give me the multiple choices. Why we need to have multiple choices? A lot of people ask that, tell me, give me the multiple choices. That means you have a doubt of the knowledge. How many bones in the body? How many heads in the body? We don't need to put 1, 2, 0. We don't have 2 heads. We're damn sure that everybody knows that only 1 head. And we don't need to worry about that. So that is exactly what is the thing is that knowledge, preciseness, and more clarity. These all the things are required for the things. That is called in the Vedic science, it is called in the Vedic wisdom, it is called tapas. Education is a tapas. As a penance, as a completely reverence to the knowledge and everything surrounded to that, and then the Vedic wisdom will come to you. When you love the Vedic wisdom, when you respect these things, and it will come to you. That is the way it works. And thank you, all of you. And I think his information is available for all of you. Go to the website called Global Ayurveda Conferences website and study Ayurveda. Under the study Ayurveda, you can see the link there. Vedic Sciences website is there. Vedic Sciences and Ayurveda Vedic Sciences webinars. There you can see the link and register as soon as possible. As soon as you register, we will be able to send you links to you, and then we'll work on that and preparing the knowledge for you and sharing the knowledge. Similar way, we do the same way, teaching like that, and PowerPoint and everything will be working on that through that. And you have questions, you can put them together, you can ask the questions, and we'll have a teaching as well as question session like the similar, same platform we can do it. Once the recording session is done, we'll be sending to you. You will be able to download to your computer, and you can download it and record it and put it there. If you don't download it, again, you have to pay the money. I'm not here for servant for everybody. I am here to support you and help you. And you have to take a time and download it to your computer and start doing like that. Dr. Shekhar, I am so busy. You are busy. I am also busy. We are all busy. Who is not busy in the world? Everybody is busy. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining such a wonderful thing. I am thankful to everybody, particularly Pandit ji is too late. It's getting late for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All.
I'll close with one mantra, Doctor.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll close with one mantra, which is actually from the Quran, since we're talking about, all traditions come from the same source. So it's a surah from the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد إن الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد آمين. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful. See, we may not understand, some of the people may not understand that feeling will be there on the physiology. And the feeling is there on the physiology. That lot of times, lot of Sanskrit and Hebrew and Bible issues like that. These are the things which we cannot understand. Latin and even sometimes like Dr. Martin talks about in Germany and Swiss language, I cannot understand. But I can say there only one word, Danke schön. Thank you. That's the only thing I can tell. And that's the way we learn some other things like that. Thank you, one and all. Danke schön.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.